Shalom, me homies. It is me, and I am hanging with you. And I can't thank you guys enough for hanging out. For those few that hang and read scriptures with me, I really appreciate you all. It is good to have a little itty bitty tiny group of folks that sit and love the word of our Creator. And I can be in no better company than I am absolutely with you guys. And there are a lot of friends and family that I have out there, people that I've met throughout the years, people that have come to Yah. And it is really, really amazing. Every single time I hear somebody that goes, you were harping on the Torah, you were going and saying we should do it. And I started to listen. And it makes all of this time when I feel like I'm sitting here telling people over and over and over a lot of the same thing. But we live in this really dark, satanic world where there's all these other people that continue to say the same thing. Uh, Grace, mercy, love, that's all there is. There's no need for obedience. You can live how you want to live. Jesus will save you. He'll take you off in this magical rapture bus. There's not going to be any tribulation. You can eat all the food you want to eat. It doesn't matter if it's pig or lobster or shrimp or shellfish or catfish or horse. Any of that stuff, it's totally fine because all food has been made clean. These are the things that are indoctrinated over and over and over. And I know you guys have heard them. I know everybody that has come into Torah, a lot of you guys have come from this past. A lot of these things where we believe the lying preachers that were telling us what we thought were people that were literally ordained by the hand of our Creator. But really, when you look at their message, they are ordained by the hand of Hasatan. And that's why you have all of these Joel Osteens, and you have all of these satanic preachers and telling you things about your best life now and how your Creator wants to bless you with riches and fortune, and that's the example of living a good life. And it's very much different when you read these scriptures. It's very much quite different because we learn about a covenant path. We learn about a path that our Creator has given, but He hasn't given it to everybody. The only people that are able to get this are the people that are willing to be obedient to our Creator. So it's always up for the taking. And if you so chose, you could grab it. But obviously, it doesn't seem like it is for everybody, because if it was, then everybody would just be saved. If you look at the Christian religion, though, everybody's saved. How many times do you hear these concerts and all of these Christian rhetoric-ed places? And, a lot of you guys know that, we have a prison ministry, and this prison ministry is very effective. But just like a lot of you guys out there who hate the laws of our Creator and hate His ways, so do all the prisoners. And it was crazy because I've been working on this one particular guy in Arkansas, and he is a Palestinian. He is a very good Christian. When he takes his last breath, and it looks like Arkansas is about to kill everybody pretty quick because they've just introduced a new nitrous gas law that I guess they've all been waiting on, and I guess in August they're going to wipe out like a lot of them. And there's only 25 on death row, and over half of them have already extinguished all of their appeals. And so they're literally waiting for death. And, it's really, really sad. But, this guy, he literally laughed at me. He goes, "Oh, you want to talk about these laws again? Lol." And he literally said lol. And, it's like at a certain level, there's a certain time when I'm done, right? And I can't sit and I can't convince those who are unconvincible or those who are so indoctrinated. And there are guys that I do run into that are like, wow, these laws are simply amazing. These statutes are incredible. And you guys all have an opportunity of reading them, of being part of this kingdom to come. It's simply obeying the laws, the statutes, and the commandments of our Creator. Now, if you don't even know what I'm talking about that you need to obey, then that's the first step forward that we need to take, which is to read the scriptures. when we read Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy very slowly, you can start to understand that there is a way better way than the so-called Christian or religious system that is out there. In fact, when you start keeping the Torah, it's not so much religion, it's just a way of life. When you're in religion, you believe a certain things, you do it, and you're supposed to live a certain way. But when you walk the Torah is guidance from the time that you get up to the time that you go to bed. From every meal that you eat, we have guidance on that. From how we are supposed to treat our neighbor, how we are supposed to do business, right? There's certain things that we have in the Torah that if you are doing business and you are going way beyond retail, if you are marking things up beyond, if you're taxing the people out of the way, then we're breaking Torah, because we're supposed to have valid weights and measures. It's supposed to be something that is justifiable. And the guys back in the day, they always had a couple sets of weights. They had the normal weights, or the ones that weighed more, or the ones that weighed less. Depending on what they were trying to do or what they're trying to scam, those are the weights that they'd pull out of their bags as they're doing the measurements for the people. And so it's a big thing for our Creator to tell us how we should interact with people. And we also are told who to love and who to stay away from. There's a entire world that we are told to stay away from. We are not supposed to be like the world, taste like the world, smell like the world by any means. And you can simply look like the world and taste like the world by what you watch on TV, by what kind of music you listen to, how you run your family. Do you let your kids just go crazy on the phones? Are you letting great evil into their hearts, minds, and souls by giving them a phone when they're 5 years old and just letting that be their babysitter? Because Hasatan is very much into all of this stuff. It is in all the advertisements, he's in everywhere. And it doesn't take much to get people on the wrong track. It doesn't take much when you have youth and you're sending up ads that are skimpily cladded girls, or vice versa, and these kids start roaming in places they shouldn't be because of their guidance. Guys, we are told that we must not conform to this world, that we must conform to the Torah. And I will mention to everybody, if you have not read the Torah, Genesis through Deuteronomy, at least 5 times, give it a run. You're going to be strong. You're going to be powered up. You're going to be undefeatable, because the devil isn't going to be able to sneak his way in there and get real sneaky with you and lead you into temptation, lead you into sin. You'll always have temptation. But once you understand the heart, mind, and soul of our Creator and his wishes and his ways, then it breaks your heart when you discover that you are breaking Torah. It breaks your heart and would put you to a point that you did not want to tempt the Creator of the universe. It is a very, very bad thing to tempt the Creator of the universe and to be on his wrong side. Which is why all praise, all glory, all esteem, all obedience, all love, and all majesty goes to the Creator of the universe. And then that same incredible entity as Elohim Most High, Yahuwah, we have a coach. We have the greatest team coach that we could ever have. And I don't say that lightly because I've been in sports a lot of my youth, and every good team always has a good coach. And what we have with our Messiah is we have somebody that came and learned the rules of the school. In fact, he knew the rules of the school prior to our creation because he hung out with his dad prior to this. And so our school, our escuela, is the Torah. And when we are in the Torah, then we are under the guidance, under the leadership, under the government of our Creator and his main man. And that is a great place to be, because when we are in this realm, we have a chance of a good life after our last breath. So when we are sitting here and we are, sorry guys, I just pulled that up there. When we are sitting here looking at this through the eyes of the lens of the Torah, it is a beautiful thing. And so, guys, what you're looking at right here is you are looking at Yah Scriptures. Yah Scriptures is the greatest English translation you will ever find anywhere. It is it's a rock solid scriptures. It is absolutely uncorruptible compared to the scribes that have done great evil in all of their writings. And it's limited edition, 3,153 pages. It is $95. It is $400 cheaper than the one that the Hallelujah Scriptures offers up. It's way cheaper than the one that the Sefer offers up, and it's large print. And so you will never find another scriptures. You will never find another book like this out there. And this is how we've been powered up that we are able to do our prison ministry, because for every single scriptures that is sold, we are able to send one of these into our brothers and sisters in chains. And so right now, it's still available. Grab them while you can. And then the paperback version is on its way. And it is, we got the final proof today, this morning, as of fact. And we will finish that up, and that will probably be sent to the printer this week, no doubt, this week. And the printing will begin. And so it doesn't take very long to get those little books printed up, versus this huge book, which took a tremendous amount of time. And so for those who do want to participate in Yah Scriptures, you guys can go to yahscriptures.com. The prison ministry, if you want to help us donate stamps, it doesn't matter, $3, $5, it doesn't matter what it is. Anything over 44 cents allows me to get a letter into our brothers. I always have to attach 44 cents to get a letter back. But that is the way the prison system works. So if you guys are able to help, we can't thank you guys enough for doing that. You can also get all the free downloads. What you're looking at right before you is you were looking at the Google app, and this is super popular. I did not know how many of you guys were downloading this thing, but it is a lot. I went to the stats the other day, and I could not believe the amount of people that are downloading. I did a rough guesstimate on the amount of free scriptures that we've given away in terms of the digital side, and we're over 50,000 scriptures that people have downloaded. And that doesn't include these applications. It doesn't include any of the other books or any of the other publications we have. That's only Yah Scriptures with the Apocrypha. And so when you're looking at 50,000 people that are possibly looking at the restored names of our Creator and His Son, it's amazing. And there's always those that we're searching, fishing for men, trying to get those that are willing to seek our Creator. And so we're into the book of Coach. This is our Coach's book. This is like the Besorah, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That's Coach's life. Coach Yahushua. He is literally the one, the chosen one of our leadership, the chosen one who came and did it miraculously. And what we're going through right here is we are going through his words. We're going through his times and his trials and his tribulations. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, Messiah Yahushua was not living a life of peace. He did not have a peaceful existence. Everywhere he went, people are challenging him. People are trying to attack him. People are putting their hands on him. They want to kill him. And it's a mess. It is really a mess that our Messiah had to go through so much, which makes him qualified to run our team. Completely qualified to be our leader. And so all glory, all praise, all thanks, all majesty to our Messiah. So let's begin into this book of the Khalidi, book of Netzarim, chapter 19, verse 43. And Yahushua, knowing what they were saying and what was in their thoughts, said, "You are wondering about the things I have said. I can assure you that while you sorrow, the world will rejoice, for its hopes are fulfilled. A woman becomes afraid just before she gives birth. But once the ordeal is over, she no longer recalls the labor pains, but rejoices in her child. So too you will grieve for a while, but I will manifest to you, then I will rejoice in your hearts." I'm just making sure that we were on the right one here. I think we are. So we're continuing on. And so labor pains, rejoices in her child, right? But the big thing about 43 is that it's the world rejoices, right? We live in a world right now that rejoices over great evil. They rejoice, they have a a leader of the New World Order. They have a satanic leader. His name is Donald Trump, but not. And he's not just the one, right? I mean, when you look at the events that have happened, especially in 2019, 2020, it's very, very, very clear the world is under a one world leadership already. Every single country, every single place was completely compliant with all of this, which absolutely means that the leaders are just they're puppets. They're just running the script. And the things that were happening right now were discussed 20 years ago and planned. Every single thing that is happening, all the events that are happening, it has all been planned. Nothing in the elite's eyes is random happenstance. It is all planned, orchestrated, and we are marching our ways into a complete new world order, a government system. And it doesn't necessarily need one single leader that's going to run the world. I don't know so much as that would be what Bible prophecy is about. Because right now, just by everybody's compliance, the world systems, everybody has already been there. We're already under this leadership. You couldn't go run to another country and avoid the things of 2019 and 2020 because everybody was in on it. Now, continuing on, 44, the Father's will is that the things I teach should be given to the people, but they will not listen, arguing among themselves as to who I am. Therefore, I must drain the bitter cup of Kai, of life, to its last dregs. Then they will say, this is he, and heed my words. This I do for men, and none can say I have not faced up to the tests of life, or I have shirked its supreme trial. Huge stuff, right? This poor Messiah, he realizes that the only way these people will listen is when it's all said and done. They have to take him, they have to kill him, they have to throw him on the stake, they have to do all this before people will ever get it, because we are such a stiff-necked people. But yet, here we are at the end of time, 6,000 years to the clock ticking, and people are the same thing, right? Nobody listens. You have 30, 40,000 Christian religions, hundreds of thousands of other religions. Nobody takes our Messiah seriously. Our Messiah says, keep the commandments. Our Messiah says, do what his dad has said to do. He says, I did not come to destroy the Torah, right? And he says, not one jot or tittle of the Torah will be gone until heaven and earth pass away. But yet you have every single religion and they have no Torah. How do we explain this? How do we explain the days that we are in that not a single religion puts a single bit of value to the Torah at all? It's insane. Continuing on, 45. The Talmudim then drank the reeling cup, and Yahushua said to Kepha, I depend upon you to carry the burden among the brethren. Kepha said, Adonai, I am ready to go anywhere to follow you to prison or even to death. Yahushua said, before the cock crows in the morning, even you, the most loyal of men, will desert me. Must I undergo the ordeal friendless? Guys, this is a sadness of the life of our Messiah, right? As excited as we are to have our Messiah, his walk is not something that any one of us would have wanted to do. We don't, a lot of us get in conflicts. A lot of us have issues. Everybody laughs at those of us who are teaching Torah and who are speaking this way. But Messiah literally walked this walk. There's no comparison. We can't compare to the man who is in the middle of the fire that was walking through this fire. And it's a question. He asks this question, must I undergo the ordeal friendless? That's hard. That's hard all the way to the bitter end. And every single person that he ever had that was supposed to be loyal and that said they were going to be loyal, and he knew they were not. He knew they were going to get scared. And why did they get scared? For their lives, right? We put so much value on our lives that we disvalue the things that are very important. And we can sit and strive for years of our life and vitamins and trying to stay healthy and all this kind of stuff. It's always at the hand of our Creator when we are taking our last breath. And so if we're sitting here worrying about all of this stuff all the way to the very end, but we're not showing the kingdom to people, if we're not helping the world, if we're not making it a better place by explaining the Torah to people, then we are the same kind of people. We have made Messiah friendless because we should be doing this. We need to be his emissaries. We need to be his Talmidim. We need to be those ones who are carrying on with this message of hope, that there is a kingdom to come, that there is a place of extreme set of beautiful guidelines and laws that we can fall under that is going to make a great place. Imagine a world that everybody kept the 160 or so commands that we can keep today, that everybody was keeping the appointed times on the right schedules. It would just be a lot of goodness. It'd be a lot of hope. Continuing on. 48. Then all the others assured him of their loyalty. Yahushua said, when I sent you out with a few possessions, did you ever go short of anything? They said no. Yahushua then said, things are different now. Those who have a purse of money and had better take it with them and keep a pack prepared for flight. Whoever's without a sword, let him sell his cloak and buy one, for I can assure you I will fulfill all that the Kodesh books say. Wow, this is crazy. And is it not written he was classified as an outlaw? Yes, truly, all that is written will be fulfilled in me, and men will find deliverance through this fulfillment. Huge stuff, right? This just goes, we have the same account, right? If you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. And I'll never forget this because my stepdad's dad was a gun fanatic. And I'm not talking just a couple of guns. I'm talking he redid one of his entire rooms and he started collecting all of these old Winchester guns. He had hundreds of original Winchesters with the original box of bullets, and there's his door was a safe door to actually enter the room. And so you couldn't actually open this door unless you had it. But once you open the door, inside on that door, he had pasted the verse that if you don't have a sword, to sell your cloak and buy one. And I thought that was very interesting because they weren't Bible believers, but people will take a piece of the verse out there. And this is one of these things that a lot of people are like, well, Messiah wants you to be beaten, right? Turn the other cheek. And there's absolute validity to everything, but you have to understand everything is based upon the situation that you are in. Now, if you are out with your wife and your kids and some gangster comes by and pistol whips you across the face and he's ready to take off with your wife and kill your kids, that's not a time that you would turn the other cheek, right? That is a time that you would rise up and you would deal with business. You would take care of things. And violence is violence, right? There is an absolute time for violence, and it doesn't matter where it is. Violence must be kept at some points to maintain order. And so when Messiah, he says this in the Besorah as well, right? If you don't have a sword, sell your cloak and buy one. That's a huge thing, right? He is now arming his people for war. He knows what's about to happen to him. He knows that things are about to get skittish. And this is our Messiah saying, don't be a pansy. Don't be weak. Don't get walked on. Don't get walked over. If there's something that is coming for you, there is absolutely time to turn the other cheek, right? There's a tremendous amount of different times, different examples when there is, but there's also a time for war, a time to live and a time to die. And when Messiah was loading his people up with this is good advice, right? If you don't have, he's basically saying, turn in your cloak, what you're going to cover, and get yourself a sword. What can we mean from this? Well, you might still be cold at night. You might still be doing that, but at least you're going to be able to defend yourself and take care of yourself. And so those who take our Messiah and make him this little girly man and make him like somebody who's not an aggressive soldier, Messiah is. Messiah just hasn't shown it. You can see it a little bit when he takes some ropes and whips and flips the tables and messes with the money changers. And you can see in that violent state that nobody's going to mess with him. Because that's one of the things that I've talked about before is that you're not going to be able to go up to these merchants and flip their tables and do all this stuff without them coming and taking your head off. They're going to come and get you, right? This is you're messing with their business, their retail business. And when Messiah came to do it and to tend to that business, not a single person. We don't have any account of anybody coming to Messiah and fighting back. And it's funny, Messiah, he's like, he knows scriptures, right? He was classified as an outlaw. And yeah, Messiah was an outlaw, and this is what we are. We are rebels for the kingdom. We are outlaws when it comes to the world. When it comes to the ways of the world, we are different. We are not those same people. And by not being those same people, that makes us different. It makes us a stench to the rest of the world. And that's what we want to be. We want to be the Messiah loving, Torah walking strength of the kingdom to come that's always shouting out, that we're always telling brothers and sisters about this. It's important that we do this. Continuing on. 52. One of the Talmudim said, "Look, Adonai, we have 2 swords among us." Yahushua said, "That is sufficient." Kiefa said, "Adonai, are you going to lead us against the reign of evil in arms?" Yahushua said, "The battle is for the immortal souls of men. Feast your eyes on me, for the hour draws near when I shall no longer be with you in body." Huge stuff, right? The battle is for the immortal souls of men. That's why we're here, guys. I get a chill. I just got a chill on that. As Messiah clearly tells us our job and that what we are to be doing and why he had to come to do what he had to do. And it wasn't for anything other than the immortal souls of men. We're grasping every single person that ever comes to Torah, that ever comes to our Messiah, that ever comes to the way forward. That's a victory, right? And when one man turns from his sin and repents and turns to the ways of our Creator, I know there's messengers. I know there's hordes and legions of messengers that are watching this and documenting this and cheering us on, and probably not so cheering some of us on, right? It's a spiritual battle, and Messiah is very clear. He's not going to be with him in body very much after this. Then he said to Yahudah, "Go, spend whatever money is needful. Make haste, but make haste." No man there understood the meaning of this saying. When Yahudah had gone, Yahushua said, "Upon me has fallen the obligation for fulfilling the hopes of men. Now I give you a last command. Stand by one another. For if you remain loyal to my cause and to each other, all will know you are true men of Yahuwah. Do not worry over much. Have faith in the goodness of Yahuwah and in me. In the reign of the Shamayim, there are many places, and had it been otherwise, I would have told you. I go first, and will prepare a compatible place for all who are with us." Okay, I think that is a tremendously good spot to stop in, because I think we need to really talk on 57. Now, 57, we know Judas Iscariot, we know Yahudah, and nobody understood this guy had massive unclean spirits. This guy was full of rage, anger, just all sorts of stuff. Enough stuff that he would take that the Son of the Most High, and that he would become the great Judas goat. And Messiah gives us a command. And this command is a very, very good command. And when you look at the words of our Creator, this isn't really a new command. It is a command, right? It's the last command. I'm giving you a last command. Stand by one another. Now, if we had the Torah in us, we would know that we are to love our brothers as ourselves, our family. We would stand by each other based upon the arms of the Torah, based upon the instructions of the Torah. That's how we know. That's what the Torah does. The Torah is there to build strong families. It's there to build strong people. It's there to give strength to people. And Messiah reiterates this, that we need to stand by one another. And that's huge. And that's absolutely huge. And that's one of the things that we do with Yah Scriptures. And this is, I was mentioning this, Nicole, the other day, that every single brother that we take on that is new, we take on a whole new set of problems. And guys, we have hundreds of people that we work with. Some have come, some have gone, some are daily, some are weekly, some are monthly. Some come back around when they're struggling or when they need prayer or things of that nature. But we have a lot of people. And all of these brothers need somebody to stand by them. And what I've noticed is that the more love that you are able to give to these prisoners, the more attention they will give back to you, the more understanding. And every single letter and every single brother usually starts about the same way. There's always a mistrust. There's always like, why are you here? What do you want? What's in it for you? And you very quickly get over that by the love that you bring when you are writing these messages. And these messages that I always bring are a message of hope. It's a message of doom, because I explain to people that this fruity little system that is the religious system isn't going to be what gets you to the other side successfully. You'll get to the other side regardless, but successfully is one thing. And we learned from the last chapter that the souls of men that perish, that are bad, the spirit of darkness takes them to a dismal abode. Just sounds very, very grim, a place we would not want to be. So guys, stand by your brothers and sisters. Stand by those who are Torah keepers. Stand by those who are helpless against the system that is out there, and show the love of the kingdom. That's what it's all about, guys. We're to do the job of the kingdom. We are to do what our Messiah has done, the way he said it. He was fishing for men. That has been his instruction for us, that we fish for men, that we're seeking those out there wherever they are. Guys, expect to get laughed at. Expect to get ridiculed. Yes, we are the butt of the jokes. I get it. I totally get it. And it bothered me for the first few years. And then pretty soon, I just get sad at the ignorance of people. When people lol, oh, we're going to talk about these laws again, lol. And then they go on to quote Paul. And they go on to quote lies of the religion that they've been sold. So here we are, guys. We are told to be part of this kingdom, to seek where people are able to be found. And guys, I thank you. I thank you very much for being a part of this reading. I thank you for being a part of this entire ministry, this entire thing. First, I never said this was even a ministry. I don't think I'm even qualified to have a ministry. But at the end of the day, there are so many people out there, especially in the prison system, that depend upon us for basic understanding of scriptures, that maybe it is a ministry. And so here we are. We can't thank you guys enough for being a part of this, and just being part of our family. There's a lot of you we love, truly. Big hugs to all of you guys out there. Much love. Shalom, shalom. And until we meet again, I'm out.